Hi everyone, Emma Sharp Dalton Brown here from Cyberbright. Today is manage your children's access to inappropriate content in the media and online. So what does that mean? Well, that basically means managing your child's devices, all of them. Even if they don't have a phone, provided they can get online, we need to manage, what they're watching, what they have access to. So parental controls are, you can put parental controls in place through Family Link for Android, and Apple also have their own parental control set up. You can meticulously go through all the settings of these apps, and you can set downtime, you can set time limit in, what the total time for the day they're allowed to be online, then the device shuts down. You can set a limit for each of the apps. You can block certain apps. You can allow apps. You can allow. You can do unlimited apps. So let's say that you want to, always be able to contact your child or your child to contact you, whatever way that is through their device. You could give that one an unlimited one. There are all sorts of things, right? That being said, even when you put in these parental controls, it's very difficult unless you are with your child or you hear, right, what is going on. You make a rule where you have to be able to hear what they're doing. Now, if it's a case where it's not videos, but it's something visual, then the screen has to be turned so that you can see it. Because a child doesn't necessarily have to go looking for something that's inappropriate. It can come up. It can come up as simple as watching Paw Patrol videos on YouTube, like truly. Or funny videos, funny football videos, or funny basketball or cat videos, or whatever it is, on TikTok. It can happen, right? It can happen in searching, right? They type in something to search for and something else comes up. They're curious, they click it, that sort of thing, right? So we kind of have to do more than parental controls, because the parental controls don't cover all. It's not a cover-all. And so we do need to be mindful. Now, I'm going to tell you a funny story. I keep, as everything as controlled as possible with my kids, especially the younger one. The older one now I'm giving, a lot more freedom. But he's had 5 years of education in cyber safety and me constantly talking about it. And he still puts his devices in my room at night, all of them, right? So back to the little one now. He's high school, but he's young. And so I have, there's a setting in Apple products whereby you can say that in a browser you only want you don't want your child to be able to access adult sites. Okay, so you've got like only allowed approved sites, you've got don't allow adult sites, and then you've got unrestricted. I don't do the one only allow approved sites, because the problem is that when he's at school, there might be a case where the teacher asks them to look something up and he's doing research and he can't get onto that site because I don't know, I wouldn't be able to, I would have to approve it, and I'm not with him all the time. So I do that, like no adult sites. But when he's at school, they're not allowed to use their devices outside of work. And, I do believe that they watch them. And he's busy. I mean, there's a lot of work to do. And then when he's finished, he's doing his sports all the time. Now, we've just had midterm break. And so he was going to be home for 5 days. And yes, still had his sports, but outside of that, he was home. And I'm busy. I'm doing my cyber safety stuff. I'm trying to keep the house, and, there's a lot going on. So I can't be with him all the time. Now, and my preference is that if he wants screen time is to do something like Netflix so I can hear it. And so that's what he does. However, there were times where he's like, Mommy, I need to go and study something online, or I need to go and research something. And I'll be like, sure, okay. Now, once all the homework was done, which he got done pretty fast, right? So we then had like 4 days left. I decided to go into the settings, and actually what I did is I just went into the settings and I took off, I put on the browser basically only approved sites, because I'm right there if he needs to get on something, I can change it for him for that thing, you know. So that was it. So basically everything was blocked, okay? Because there's like one approved site, if that. And so unbeknownst to me, he had been going on his, so on his phone, there's an app for Canvas, and I hadn't blocked the app. The app for Canvas is allowed all the time because that is schoolwork. But on your computer, it's not an app. You do it through the browser, right? So he'd been getting his homework and anything he needed to from the app on his phone. Today now at school, in class, you're not supposed to use your phone, of course. So you have to go through your browser on your computer. So I suddenly see a call coming in, and it's coming in from his computer. And I go to answer it, and he hangs up immediately because, of course, he's not allowed to make calls. But then I see messages, emergency, right? I can't open Canvas, Mom. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So he was like trying to alert me, right? Which was kind of clever without disturbing everybody at school and whatever, right? So I'm like, and I couldn't figure out why. So I went into settings and I'm like going through everything. I'm like, okay, Canvas is allowed. And I'm still not clicking that, of course, Canvas is allowed on your phone, but he's not getting into his Canvas on the phone. He's trying to get into on his computer. And then when I go through the settings, I realize in the browser part, sure enough, I had on only approved sites allowed. So the poor dude couldn't get on. Anyway, I quickly changed it. And then I just sent him a message to his computer and I'm like, check again. And then he was fine. But all of this to say, and the same thing happens, by the way, with, I spoke about this when it comes to YouTube. So let's say that a teacher sends a YouTube link to their students, to his or her students, on any topic, in history, Spanish, whatever, right? Now, the majority, if not all, of these links are regular YouTube. They're not YouTube Kids. So parents, if you are only allowing your child to use YouTube Kids, right, your child can't get on to YouTube and watch these videos. So I'm sure that you have all come across this, or a lot of you have come across this idea or this problem, I should say. So what do you do? What do you do? You have to allow them to have YouTube, right? Now, it's not the teacher's fault because I did some research where I tried to find certain topics on YouTube Kids, you know, and they just don't exist. Some of them just don't exist, so you have to use YouTube. And that's not the fault of the teachers, that's the fault of the people uploading videos.